in this video, I've got a real treat for you. My friend and colleague, Mandi Johnston, is joining me, and she is a leader with America's Frontline Doctors Citizen Corps in Nevada. So she's going to share with us what that means for each of us in our respective states and how you can be a hero and you can get involved and help us restore our great republic. So Mandi, take it away.
Absolutely. Thanks, Layne.
Thanks for being here.
Guys. Thanks for having me. So like Layne said, I'm with the Citizen Corps Division of America's Frontline Doctors. A lot of you may be familiar with America's Frontline Doctors and the work that they did throughout the pandemic. But Citizen Corps is a little bit newer arm of America's Frontline Doctors, and it's basically our boots on the ground, our volunteer citizen army, is the way that I kind of like to think about it. And really, we're just out here to help spread awareness, be involved in activism and different events that are going on in our respective states, helping to get resources and information out in our local communities to like-minded individuals. And really, our main issues that we like to attack is, if you could really put it into just like 2 words, it's civil liberties. So anything that is an infringement on our constitutional rights, medical freedom, freedom in your businesses, freedom in your homes, anything that's related to government tyranny, that is us. So we are all about fighting that stuff and making sure that we stay as free as possible. So how you can get involved, there's really 2 different ways that you can get involved in your local state. So the first way is if you just want to be hooked in with America's Frontline Doctors, if you want to know what's going on in your local state, if you want to show up to events or possibly volunteer your time as you have time, then you can just sign up to be a member with us. It's free. We'll put a link in the description of this video on where you can do that. And you'll get hooked into our Telegram channel for your local state, and you'll be able to kind of see what we're doing in your area and possibly find some cool ways that you can fit in or get involved. If you really want to have some more skin in the game and you're really out here to help make a difference in your state, then a lot of our states have state leader or co-leader positions that are available. And those positions are more like 5 hours of volunteer time per week. And you're a little bit more dedicated to the cause as far as getting that information out there in those Telegram channels, and a little bit more active in your local community as far as like some of the events and things that you might be involved in. So again, we need as many volunteers and members linked into our newsletter and our Telegram channels as possible, because that's where we're going to get a lot of this really good information out to you guys. But if you feel like you really have a specialty or a lot of knowledge in some of these areas, we'd love for you to come on board and take on a little bit more responsibility, help us get some of this information out there to the general public. And really just help us in this freedom fight. So that's kind of about us and a little bit about what we're looking for.
It's a really neat organization. I think it was 4 weeks ago, Mandi reached out to me and I prayed about it and I said, okay, I'm in. So I'm a co-leader for Nevada in the divisions of faith and business. And I barely scratched the surface, and I'm already feeling more direction, as well as it's the things that I'm doing are going to be able to come together like this, more cohesive, and it makes it more manageable looking at your state, at your local areas, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to help America's Frontline Doctors across the whole United States. And so that was one of the things that I noticed right away. And again, I barely scratched the surface. So what are the main pillars of freedom, I think you call them?
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, exactly. We have a lot of different areas of like focus, but our 5 key pillars are faith, education, health, community, and business. So, we love to get people on board to help us in any way that they can. If you feel like you know a lot about local legislation, we have a legislative volunteer position. If you like live events, if you feel like you can help spread information on social media, or you're really big into research, if you know about homeschooling or private schooling, or you have contacts in your local school district or with your school board, that would be a great person for an education volunteer position. Patient rights, physician rights, medical freedom, informed consent around vaccines. That that's a big thing for you and you know a lot about that, that would be a great person for our health position. If you have contacts within local government, like your sheriffs, county commissioners, school boards, city council members, that would be like a great community volunteer person. And then in regard to our business pillar, if you run a local business or you're educated on different ways that businesses can run in a more freedom-minded way, that's a great sector to get involved with as well. We're all about promoting like-minded, constitutionally free businesses in our local areas. So compiling lists of like-minded, privately owned businesses is a big thing for us as well. So we kind of have areas that everybody can fit into. And again, if you're like, hey, I don't have a couple hours a week to volunteer, but I just want to be plugged in, I want to be in the know, I want to know about events and resources that you have that could help me or my community, then you can still just fill out our intake form and get plugged into our Telegram channels at the very least. That's a great way to start. And then if you feel like you are really called to give more to the cause, then reach out to your state leader. They'll be the admin in our Telegram channels, and they can get hooked up with you. And if you want to volunteer more time into one of these areas, or you think that you might fit into a co-leader or a state leader position, then we can definitely set up a time to chat about that as well.
That's great. And we'll put all those links, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, great. So it's kind of amazing when you say, what can I do? I want to do something and get plugged into something like this. At least for me personally, I noticed right away that not only was there a lot that I hadn't even thought of that I could offer, but when I shopped around the Telegram channel or was in there, I already reached out to Patriot Mobile, because they support our values rather than giving T-Mobile and Verizon and Sprint our business, and they do not support our values at all. So that's just one little thing, but all the things that are happening in your area, it's a good place to look in one spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It helps. So.
And for us, if you already are part of an organization, we are very much not an us and them type of organization. We really want to link arms and work with other organizations on state levels or even on federal level. So if you're already a member or a founder of a group in your local community, like a health freedom group here in Nevada, we have Health Freedom Nevada. We have a lot of great organizations that already exist here in our state. We're not about, they're doing their thing, we're doing our thing. We really want to link arms with you if you already have something like that going on in your state. And we want to help be able to spread your information into our communication channels as well. If you, are wanting to organize a rally or a protest for, maybe a bill that's coming down in your state, and it's a health freedom related bill, and you're already part of a health freedom group, we'll help get volunteers there. We'll wear your, shirts or hold your signs or whatever, you guys want. We're not about competition or anything like that. We just want to be able to spread as much information and provide as much resources as possible. So don't think if you're already kind of doing something like this that you can't also, be associated with us or be hooked into our communication channels, because that's not at all how it is.
I love it. That was really the feeling that I got was like, oh, it's a great bridge between, say, one of the organizations that I'm involved with, which is My Faith Votes, as well as, of course, the PMA community, and be able to say, here, we can find it here, and we can start bridging all of these groups so that we can form this cohesive partnership and collaboration between all the amazing people that have stepped forward and said, we're going to do this. We're getting our country. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of the groups on the ground in a lot of these states are amazing. Some of them are smaller groups, some of them are bigger groups, but the more you can connect, medium, small, big size groups to another group, to another group, to another group, and we're all, moving towards the same ultimate end result or goal, the bigger impact we're going to have. If we want to organize a rally or a protest, or we want to host an event, and you're only advertising to your community or your group or your network, your reach is going to be limited, versus if you have other companies or organizations that are helping to do some of that, marketing or putting your information out in front of a bigger crowd. The more that you can get that out there, the bigger of an impact you can have. So we're all about, being involved with other organizations and kind of a group effort, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff, the Citizen Corps, and it is a way to do something. It makes sense to join with this. So we hope to see you. Follow those links, and remember, like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you in the next video. And thank you so much, Mandi, for coming on and letting everybody know about Citizen Corps. I would never have known.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.